In terms of test taking, looking back on my testing experience, sometimes I would get nervous, and I'd focus and look forward to finishing the test. When I'd sit down to take a test, sometimes my brain would just shut down. I do have to stop to allow my mind to clear up and take my time while finishing a test. Sometimes a test will have a time limit, and I try not to look at the clock because I don't want to end up worrying. I need to take my time to read each question thoroughly to make sure I catch any tricky questions. In my overall testing experience, I get anxious when taking a test, and I hate it when I finish a test and I have to wait for the results. But I think that's a natural feeling. For written tests, some subjects require it, such as history or architecture. I do write based on my knowledge because I also use architectural terminology. I've had to make sure that all my answers make sense in English, as it's important to clearly write one's points. After turning in a test, the professor knows what has been taught and learned in class, and knows what you've garnered from them. If something is written on the test that has nothing to do with the subject, then maybe there is something I haven't captured or didn't fully understand. It's important to write in tests in a way that shows that I've learned from class. There are several options for using test accommodations. Having extended time is nice because you have time to write, double-check, and proofread to make sure everything is clear. Because my first language is ASL and English is my second language, having extended time helps me to read and understand and make sure that I have the correct spellings. If one doesn't understand something on a test, you can ask your professor to explain through an interpreter to make sure you understand the question before writing down an answer. During high school, when I took tests, I would ask the teacher if I could sit in a private room because other students would quickly complete their test and then march out of the classroom, which was distracting. I preferred to sit in a private room where I could focus better with extended time. During college, I stayed in the classrooms because there was a time limit set on the tests, and I could ask the professor to see if he was willing to give me extra time. Normally though, I did not ask for extra time because it was a learning experience that would help me prepare for the real world. Looking back, yes, I did request test accommodations in order to meet my needs. I also talked with my professors and explained my needs. They were willing to provide extra support for testing. I also didn't have any difficulty with my request for test accommodations or support.